Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Manuel. Charges against a Towanda man accused of arson have been dropped, and now the alleged arson victim is arrested in his place. Our Maggie Hall has the emerging details in this case.
A Towanda woman who claimed to be the victim of a domestic dispute and aggravated assault is now under arrest herself. 23-year-old Courtney Ritz called 911, claiming that this man, her boyfriend, 28-year-old Andrew Wickwire, poured gasoline all over her car and lit it while she was inside. Ritz told police that the two of them playfully spraying each other with a garden hose turned violent. She accused Wickwire of pulling her hair, shoving her, and threatening to kill her cat if she tried to leave. Ritz claimed that when she did leave and get into her car is when Wickwire attempted to set the car on fire. She claimed that she put the fire out herself and then was met by state police. Alleged suspect Andrew Wickwire was arrested and charged with arson, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. However, on the day of Andrew Wickwire's court hearing, Courtney Ritz showed up to the courthouse. She admitted that she had completely falsified all of the events that she claimed Wickwire had put her through, and she was immediately arrested. All charges against Andrew Wickwire have been dropped. It is unclear why Courtney Ritz submitted this false report. She's been charged with falsifying information to law enforcement. Big Fox News will continue to update you on any developments in this case. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Bradford County.
The Ithaca Police Department is asking for the public's help locating a suspect in a road rage incident involving a pregnant victim. Ithaca police say the suspects keyed the victim's car. When she went to confront them, police say 25-year-old Anthony R. Cruz then punched her in the face. Police say after the assault, 23-year-old McKendra Peterson, the driver, reversed, dragging the expectant mother 50 feet. Peterson was arrested and charged with second-degree assault. Cruz is still at large and is known to frequent the Elmira area. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call 911 for immediate sightings. Plans to demolish Brand Park Memorial Pool will be proceeding as planned. If asbestos had been found in the pool, demolition would have been held off to remove the asbestos. It's been reported by the city of Elmira that no asbestos was found in the pool. Demolition is planned to conclude before the end of the year, with a splash pad built in the pool's place. A lane restriction in Tioga Township is expected to continue until September while bridge construction is underway. The northbound bridge on Route 15 over Mill Creek Reservoir. The lane restriction extends to the left lane of the northbound bridge and is for 19 feet. Some U.S. agencies are making an all-out blitz effort to stop a major consumer problem. The Federal Trade Commission and 101 other U.S. and state law enforcement authorities are beginning a nationwide crackdown on illegal and unwanted robocalls and telemarketing calls. The coordinated push is called Operation Stop Scam Calls and involves all 50 U.S. state attorneys general and Washington, D.C. Word that former President Trump may be facing his third indictment quickly shook up the GOP primary. Lucas Tomlinson has more from Washington.
Facing the possibility of a third indictment, former President Trump is forging ahead.
I didn't know practically what a subpoena was and grand juries and all of this. Now I'm like becoming an expert. I have no choice because we have to. It's a disgrace.
Addressing a packed crowd of supporters in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Trump downplayed his legal challenges. After announcing he's the target of a federal grand jury investigation into his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
This appears to be a political witch hunt, and the more indictments that keep getting returned, the more that is being solidified in the eyes of the public.
Following news of his previous indictments, the former president saw a bump in support. But a new University of New Hampshire poll shows Trump's lead has shrunk over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the key primary state. Still, his closest rival coming to his defense.
This country is going down the road of criminalizing political differences, and I think that's wrong.
But other GOP hopefuls are trying to cut into Trump's lead.
The rest of this primary election is going to be, in reference to Trump, is going to be about lawsuits. We can't keep dealing with this drama.
Lawmakers on the left are calling the move appropriate.
The president was a central figure in an effort to overturn an election, an effort to interfere with a peaceful transfer of power for the first time in our history. And if anyone else had done the things he did, they would be under investigation.
At this point, it remains unclear how much longer this latest investigation will take and what charges Trump could potentially face. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Israel's president addressed a joint session of Congress today, saying there is an unbreakable bond between Israel and the United States. The address comes on Israel's 75th anniversary. Israeli President Isaac Herzog called the chance to speak to the legislatures an honor. Herzog's visit exposed some difficulties facing Democrats who are grappling with showing U.S. support for Israel amid disapproval of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. Still no response from North Korea after an American Army private crossed the border and was taken into custody. Greg Palcott has the latest.
My first thought was, what an absolute idiot.
Eyewitnesses are giving their firsthand accounts of what happened when this man, U.S. Army Private Travis King, crossed the DMZ into North Korea on Tuesday. King was stationed in South Korea when he got in a fight with locals, landing him in prison for 2 months. When he got out, he was scheduled to be sent home. Instead, he joined a tour group going to the DMZ, and at the last minute, he sprinted full speed toward the North Korean side, catching guards by surprise.
They didn't catch him. He was we were pretty close to the border, and it would have been pretty hard to stop him from that range. But yeah, he was going pretty fast.
King is now believed to be in North Korean custody, but despite multiple attempts to communicate with Pyongyang, the U.S. has not received any response. Officials in South Korea say if King was hoping for a better life north of the border, he's in for a rude awakening.
I would call it a crash landing in hell, as he would face a series of hellish things that he would never even have imagined before.
The incident comes as South Korea and the U.S. hold a series of meetings aimed at countering North Korea's nuclear threat. On Wednesday, South Korea's president boarded an American nuclear submarine, hoping to send a message to the North.
This visit, the first of an SSBN to Korea in over 40 years, is a concrete demonstration of the United States' ironclad commitment to the Republic of Korea.
Also on Wednesday, North Korea test-fired 2 ballistic missiles. They splashed down in international waters. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
We have your complete forecast coming up next. Plus this.
Can CBD compounds help combat drug overdoses? I'm Kevin Cork. I've got those details coming right up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening. We've been under a bit more of an active weather pattern here as we've been stepping into the month of July. Even just looking at our last 5 days, we've at least had a trace of precipitation, with yesterday topping off just around 0.8 of an inch, our 5-day number there, just around an inch. Now, that has been making some slow and improvements when it comes to the drought conditions across New York. We still have that moderate drought more for the western portions of the state, but it's been improving locally, and we'll see when we add in the precipitation we've been experiencing as well as what's ahead, we could continue to drag out some of those drought concerns. Now, what we're going to continue as we roll into our Thursday is still more of this beautiful sunshine. Again, there could be some morning areas of that fog, but then we'll have that sunshine hold us through majority of the day before we'll see that by the evening hours, we could be watching some late night storms roll on through, and if they have enough juice to them, they may continue to stay strong through about midnight. And then rain chances will continue into our Friday, where we'll continue to talk about adding some more moisture to the soil and helping out those drought concerns. So first, looking as we head into our Thursday, it's going to be generally a sunny day. High temperatures will climb to about 88 degrees, so flirting with those 90s, bringing us slightly above average. And then as we head into the late evening, that's when we'll talk those thunderstorm chances. So rolling that forecast, there's some morning fog that is able to burn off with that morning sunshine, and then we'll keep that sunshine through the day. By about sunset, there comes that increasing cloud cover, and there's those showers and thunderstorms possible to start off the be, again, overnight threat into the early morning, and then we'll stay underneath some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms throughout our Friday. Whereas we look at the precipitation potential here in just a moment, we'll talk on some potential good dosings. Now, what we do see is that with that threat coming before 7 a.m., the Storm Prediction Center outlooks does say Thursday, but note that it does run through Friday morning. So we see that through the Finger Lakes and the local Elmira Corning area, we do fall underneath that marginal risk, which is level 1 out of 2, noting that those storms that move on through the overnight could potentially continue to carry some larger hail as well as some of those severe wind gusts. So we'll keep an eye on that threat, but what we'll mostly see from this is that we'll at least be talking about some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms again, maybe a few severe. We'll keep an eye on that potential. But if we continue to keep some of those good downpours throughout that Friday forecast, we are looking at accumulation even getting anywhere from at least 3/10 of an inch upwards of a 1/2 an inch to a few 3/4 of an inch there are highlighted. So another good dosing of some rain showers is always good news, because we'll work in still some of these drier days, especially when the peak of summer really ramps up, which could be ahead. So we'll keep those chances for some showers and thunderstorms a little bit cooler following that system there into Friday, but still very comfortable. But it doesn't take long underneath the sunshine to see that warming, and next week we could watch that. Those 80s will hang on, but we'll have another chance to talk about some showers and thunderstorms moving through the area as early as Tuesday.